So you've seen countless times where players will get blocked off by Steve's blocks off stage and probably wondered, is there anything that I can actually do about this? Today, we'll be going over lots of solutions to these block edge guards in various stages and characters to hopefully help you out when recovering against Steve. Just as a really quick reminder that every single tether recovery in the game will go through blocks no matter the strength, so if you don't want to risk a block edge guard, use a tether. Now to start off, we'll go over Battlefield, Small Battlefield, and Final Destination. These stages are nearly identical when it comes to block edge guards, so just be sure to apply all of what is shown in these sections to these three stages. For starters, let's look at a match between Proto Banham and Akala. Here, Proto gets sent off stage and tries to recover by hitting the block and then using up B, but ends up going too low. He had the right idea, but what needed to be done is to hit the corner block, specifically this one right here, in order to break it, and then up B into where that corner block would have been. The reason why this works is because you're pushing your character's collision box into the block so close that it actually grabs the ledge. So when recovering like this, it doesn't matter the durability of the blocks. What matters is that your character's ledge grab range is big enough to make it through the blocks. For simplicity's sake, I'll be showing off recoveries with this block broken, but just know that aiming here when possible is best for most of the cast. Even teleport recoveries like Palutena can make it through here. Just remember that you need to recover at the end of your up B height, as any earlier can cause you to bump your head and miss the gap. Speaking of recovering near the end of the up B, let's look at Dabuz vs Akala. Here, Dabuz tries to recover from below and ends up getting block edge guarded. A weird yet viable solution is to instead up B from lower from the stage in order to ride the wall and recover. Again, because you're purely abusing your character's grab range to make it through, it doesn't matter how strong the block is. Other characters can abuse this too, anywhere from another glide recovery like Pit, or the lesser ones like Incineroar and Ganondorf. Lastly, some characters like Ice Climbers or Fox can benefit by sliding into the blocks from an angle. This helps to damage the blocks first and then ride into the stage for a brief moment later. These techniques will vary from character to character, so it's important to learn what angles and tricks your main can use as well. Likewise, not every position can be recovered from, but if one of these is available to you, then by all means use it. There are some characters that unfortunately can't do anything about block edge guards, like Chrom for example, but that doesn't mean all hope is lost. Let's look at how block edge guards change on other stages. On Pokemon Stadium 2, it's actually impossible to block edge guard any character. Because of the block grid, it doesn't actually align with the stage, so every single character is able to slip through. Even if they go super low to place a block closer to the stage, it just doesn't work. While this may lead to other mix-ups when recovering from the ledge below, blocks are essentially a non-factor on the stage when it comes to being edge guarded. If your character still struggles with blocks on PS2, I do have another guide that you can check out on how you can actually abuse Steve's crafting table in order to lower mats on the stages. So if you want to watch it, it'll be up right here. Anyways, let's move on to the next stage. One last example of Dabuz. In the same set, he tries to recover versus Akala on town and gets block edge guarded. Like before, what he should try to do is to aim for the corner of the block to once again hug the stage and slide through. This little gap is harder to hit, but again, if the choice is to go for a harder gap or lose your stock otherwise, I'd say go for the gap. Some teleport recoveries aren't able to make it through here however, so using the same strategy as on Battlefield where you break the bottom block first can help out tremendously. And also, here's a funny little DDD glitch I found. Lastly, there's just some characters like Diddy Kong who can't really abuse the block stuff as much, so their best option a lot of the times is to just go to the other side of the stage. Kinda boring, but again, you do survive. Smashville is surprisingly enough exactly like PS2, where it's impossible for characters to be block edge guarded given the right positioning. Here, Mario normally can't ever break through iron blocks, but on this stage, so long as you aim for the small gap in between the block and the stage, it can fit through. This holds true for a lot of other recoveries, like teleport recoveries, and characters that would normally hit their head on the block. As long as you're able to space yourself properly, Steve shouldn't be able to edge guard this. If the top block is open however, this can lead to more mix-ups, but once again, it's another way that you can recover versus blocks. As a quick bonus, on Hollow Bastion you can treat it just like Town and City, where you want to aim in between the lip of the stage and the blocks. Alongside this, as an added little mix-up for characters like Palutena or Inkling, you can always try to aim for the top of a block and then use its break animation to be actionable immediately. So yeah, hopefully you were able to find this helpful. You won't always be able to guarantee recovery because of how the positioning and resources work, but if any of these interactions are possible, then do your best to make it through, and who knows, maybe you'll make it back safely when you didn't think you could. As always, feel free to experiment with your character, as I'm sure there's many more possibilities out there which I haven't listed in this video. With that out of the way, hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.